Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And yeah, we don't have the yellow hat because bad lighting right now. But still here. We saw The Flash. And man, what a fun movie. I don't know what the critics are saying about this movie. I don't really care. I kind of have an idea of what they're saying. Let's just be honest. DC animation, DC films, Marvel animations, Marvel films, mostly good. Mostly good. A few stinkers in there, but are there stinkers as awful as the DC ones? That's another conversation. That said, this movie, it gave you the premise of a flashback story, but not only that, Flashpoint. So if you're familiar with what happens there, DC has all these alternate Earths and different things. These universes converge, different things happen, and this was their way of saying, "Hey, we're gonna press the reset button." James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel and some other movies, he's moved over to DC and he's taken over a lot of he's taken over the direction there. So this is a nice way for him to say, "Hey, we'll use the Flash movie as the catalyst to restart the DC universe in the way I see fit." So some people are excited for that, some aren't. That said, Ezra Miller returns as the Flash. Now he's got his own personal stuff going on. A lot of people thought that character be recast, but when you see this movie, you'll understand they had no choice but to keep it. You couldn't really scrap the movie because it felt like it was written to his personality, kind of like Charlie Sheen in Two and a Half Men. Ezra Miller in Flash was perfect. I'm sorry to say it. I didn't want to like him in the movie at all. I didn't think that Barry Allen should be weird or goofy or any of those things, but they made it work. So if you don't know anything about Barry Allen and this is your first, incarnation that you've seen, it doesn't really hurt you. But man, oh man, what a ride. I know some friends who were with me, shout out to Keith, shout out to Alpha, they thought maybe it was a little slow in the beginning, but if you know nothing about Flash, I don't think that really hurt you. Maybe if you saw the other DC movies, Justice League and all that, and they gave you, a little bit of information there, this felt like maybe it was extra, but for me, I appreciated it. You immediately see Flash and, some recaps into what he wants his life to be like. So for me, this movie was awesome because for someone who's taken a lot of L's this year, and I won't say a lot, but I've taken some back to back if y'all have been following the channel. But some good L's too, some double L's. Inside joke there. But being meta aside, this gave you an idea of what it'd be like to deal with loss. Whether that's a person you lost in your life due to death or a relationship or just fallout, whatever. The Flash movie gave you all of that sentiment there. So it was equal parts funny, it was equal parts action, equal parts sadness. It was all wrapped in a beautiful way, and Ezra Miller didn't need Michael Keaton or some of these other characters to carry his movie. He was like, "You're not going to Eminem me in my movie. I'm the star." And that's what was great about it for me. The villain, well, I can't really say much without spoiling too much. I don't want to spoil everything in the movie. I will say, at first, it wasn't what was expected, but then it made sense toward the end. I really liked one of the allies that came. I mean, obviously, it's not a spoiler that Michael Keaton returns in this movie as Batman. So if you didn't know that, I'm sorry. Not sorry, really. Watch the trailer. But some of these other characters, I'm going to be honest, I don't really care for Superman at all. But this movie made me feel somewhat hopeful. It made me like some of these characters. And I'll just leave it at that. And one of them just looked majestic. They did that character right, even for that brief moment that they were on screen. There's a couple other cameos. The after credit scene, not worth watching, but the very end of the movie, the scene, that should have been the after credit scene. This was the most Marvel DC movie I've seen so far. It's probably the best DC movie I've seen so far. I still feel like Dark Knight and some of these other Batman movies were better, but as far as hey, this is new. This is their own thing. This is a stepping stone for this, universe. It was awesome. It was awesome. I can take nothing away from Ezra Miller. Matter of fact, they're already talking about making a sequel to this. That's how good it was. Highly recommend this movie. I'm on the fence on what to give it. Somewhere between an 8 and a 9, so like an 8.5, 8.8. But out of Earthworm Gems, it's definitely a 4 out of 5 Earthworm Gems. Go see this movie. It's worth your time. I can't wait to see what's next. And for those of you saying, oh, you said Dungeons & Dragons next, it's coming, it's on the way. Just give me some time. There's a reason why I haven't watched it yet. But we'll talk on that another time, another place. I hope to see you again soon, but if I don't, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. And I hope to see you again soon. But good afternoon, good evening, good night. Other Yellow Hat Guy is out. Captain Sensation!